Fulton County school system to now be a leader within our school system. Please join me in welcoming to the stage Assistant Principal of Hazel Elementary School.
Good morning. Well, those students are definitely a tough act to follow, but I will do my best. I am Tamara Whitaker, and it's truly an honor to stand before you today. I am a proud product of Fulton County Schools. From my early years at SLI Elementary to McNair Middle School to Creekside High School like Juan, Fulton has shaped me not only as a student and educator, but has made an indelible mark on my journey as a person. So my why didn't begin in a classroom or even in Georgia. It actually began in 1942 when my late father, Willie V. Robinson, was born in Pensacola, Florida, at the height of segregation and systemic racism. But even in that reality, seeds of resilience were planted, and in 1955, just as a young boy, him and his Little League team chose courage over comfort, and together they used teamwork, integrity, and accountability to make history, playing in the first ever integrated Little League baseball championship in Orlando, Florida. Until they came and asked him to be in a documentary. I was like, oh. So that same tenacity carried him into the U.S. Air Force during the Vietnam War, and later on to a Greyhound bus bound for East Point, Georgia, with nothing but a trash bag of belongings and a vision for a better life for his wife and children. So my parents raised me to understand that education is a great equalizer and the bridge between hate and hope, poverty and possibility. He taught me that no matter where you start, you can rise when you lead with purpose and principle. So that same legacy shaped me into a student, a teacher, and a leader, and now as an assistant principal. And it's the reason why I believe so deeply in the work we do today and the power that we have to transform lives with purpose like education has transformed mine. So my path from a student to a leader has not been without challenges, but those challenges have created some of my most meaningful accomplishments. So like entering Creekside as a senior, I signed up for an AP English class. And I didn't realize there was going to be a summer reading requirement of 5 novels, like Wuthering Heights and Great Expectations. I didn't even understand what they were talking about. And so the first week of school, my procrastination kicked in because I did not finish the work, and I begged my counselor to get me out of the class. And she said, well, you have to go ask your teacher. And Dr. Brian Rollins told me no. He said with unwavering integrity, you can do this. And I cried, but he was right. And that turned out to be my most favorite and meaningful classes and my most influential teacher. And so I actually had a full circle moment in 2013 at the Fulton County Teacher of the Year banquet when I was 2 people behind him in line. And we were both going up to represent our school. Taught me that when somebody believes in you and challenges you and models the values of great teaching and leadership, it can shape the course of your life. But what made it even more powerful, me knowing how far I had gotten there, when I started teaching at Love T. Nolan in 2006, I wasn't sure if I would make it through the first year. I remember a hard day. They had got me to tears, y'all. And I was sitting in my assistant principal, Dr. Tresha Cheatham's office, and I was like, I can't do this. I'm done. And she said, no, you can do this, just like Dr. Rollins did. And so I made the decision I wouldn't leave the school or that community until I got it right. I was determined to show up, to grow, and to be the teacher my students deserved. After that, it wasn't just any school, it was the same halls that 3 of my older siblings had walked as students. So I stayed the course and spent 13 years there as a teacher and grew into an instructional leader. So when I was announced Teacher of the Year in 2013, it wasn't just an award, it was a moment of triumph. I remember my principal, Dr. Lemons, she said, now when you do what I tell you to do at the announcement. And so other people were like, man, that was shady, did you do that? And I was like, you know what? No, that was a moment because she was having a proud moment as a leader to see me grow from a college graduate to a leader that impacted students. So after 10 years in the classroom, I went into instructional leadership as a curriculum support teacher at the same school, Love T. Nolan. But at that time, our CCRPI score was in the 40s. Dr. Williams was in the 40s. And so back then we had something called the achievement zone, if you remember that. So walking into that position as a new leader, I felt that weight of the data. And I quickly learned that the answer wasn't just in the numbers, it was in the people. So what changed was teamwork, right? So we poured ourselves into learning how to lead authentic, data-driven systems, true PLCs, but I didn't do it alone, none of us do. Together we committed to the work. We created a space for real collaboration and built a culture where teachers feel supported and challenged and valued. And that year, our CCRPI score grew 17 points. I'm still considering getting like a 17 and 17 tattoo somewhere, but beyond those numbers, the real success was what we built together, and I saw firsthand how teamwork can commit to a shared vision with trust and purpose and vulnerability, and real change happens. So I also owe a great deal to all of the job-embedded training I received in the trenches from my school leaders like Evan Hewitt and Miranda Freeman, who is now the to the Achievement Zone leaders like Brandon Gaskins, and district partnerships like going to UVA for the turnaround program. All of those things were critical in developing me into a leader in the thick of the work, when the stakes were high and the pressure was real. Those experiences shaped me into a strategic, focused, effective leader. And I learned how to connect vision to action and how to build systems that not only spark growth, but sustain it. So I stayed there for 13 years, and then you're like, I need to grow, I need a different environment. So I left Love T. Nolan after 13 years and went to Marietta City Schools. I experienced 6 years of growth there, from a school leader to a district level coordinator. But I found myself missing the professional development from Fulton, the close-knit community that I had come to cherish. And so I came back. And after this period of growth and reflection, I'm back where it all started now as assistant principal at Hakeville Elementary. It did not take long for me to realize that I made the right choice to come back. I'm now in the Fulton Leadership Program for my specialist in Tier 2 leadership. So I'm continuing to grow where I started. And so this return is a return to my roots, my community, my purpose. It's another full circle moment for me, and it's a meaningful opportunity to give back to the community that poured so much into me. And it even gave me my husband, who I met at Creekside. And we are now raising a beautiful daughter who's a rising junior and varsity cheerleader at Langston Hughes High School. The challenges look different now, but the core of the work remains the same. Build strong teams, lead with integrity, and stay accountable to your purpose. I stand here not as someone who has all the answers, but who believes deeply in the power of people and the potential that we have with our students, teachers, and ourselves. Thank you.